So if you would have told me when I started my season of singleness 10 years ago that I would be single still, I don't think that I would have believed you, but at the same time, it never would have been my intentions to be single for this long. There's nothing wrong with being single. If you've landed on this video and maybe you're single for the first time in a while, you've been single for a while, you're really just kind of looking to kick yourself out of the nest or maybe gain some perspective, you're gonna get that today. But I think for me and the 10 years that I've been single, at different points I've needed different things. At different points I've learned different things. And it's only really been in the last 6 months that I've gained a lot of clarity on manifesting a partner for myself moving forward and what that looks like. And that is a separate video, but I want to share what I've learned in the last 10 years and the things that have really just helped me hone in and be more complete in myself, but also set me up for a future of being with somebody and really building a life that I want, as somebody who has lived almost 32 years and been in tons of weddings and seen lots of babies being born and seen several divorces as well. So age breeds wisdom, and I'm here to share it all with you today. But the first thing that I've learned, amongst many, but would be don't let social media be your guide. And I say this with a caveat of, we all know that social media has its pros, it has its cons, it really depends on how you want to use it in your life. But I think one of the things that I've realized more so recently as I've kind of taken a step back is we, specifically millennials, but younger generations as well, are so much more exposed to all of these different lifestyles that we have the opportunity to see so many different things, and it can feel like there's so many different options out there that we don't always stop to consider what works best for us and our needs and our lifestyle and the partner that we want. So taking the time to kind of look at, okay, well, maybe you're consuming a lot of content that's based on the region that you're in. Like if I gathered everything from living in the South, I probably would have been married a lot younger. I would have already had babies. I would have had a ring by spring, which was like the joke at my college. Those kind of things are what is very fluent in the Southern culture and can be very fluent in Southern social media. So don't let that be your guide. Take a second to step back and be mindful of what you're consuming and what you're seeing, and maybe let it be a moment where you just say, okay, I'm going to step away from this while I take a second to decide what I even want and what this looks like for me. Because a lot of times we have a lot of work to do to actually get to the partner that we want, and we don't realize that. So number 2, be willing to do the work. And I say this with the understanding that at some point in the last 5 years, when I finally had the brain space to kind of look at just my past history with men, what I was raised around, the conversations around males in my inner circle, how I was raised to kind of treat those people, what that looked like for me, especially somebody who grew up in a religious background, it all becomes a space of, okay, I need to kind of peel back the onion. I need to understand what I'm working with before I can even move forward. And one of the things that I found most common for myself, whether or not it's dating or friendships, is that we often just repeat the patterns that we're trying to heal from. We find ourselves over and over and over again in these situations because we want a different solution, we want a different answer, we want to be out of it, but we haven't figured out how to get out of it because we've created this set of expectations for ourselves. So being willing to do the work is huge, because that means you can get more clear on what you want and more clear on the things that maybe you're automatically going for that really don't support the person that you want to become or the person that you want to be with. Number 3, let go of the expectations. Now, I'm not going to say that you should let go of what you want in a partner, because I recently started to read a dating book out of curiosity, and it made me so mad that I did not finish the first chapter, because I think, and this goes hand in hand with the second point, for a lot of us, especially people who, especially as women who lean towards the curvier side, a lot of us are still really kind of undoing the work that society has pushed upon us. So I recently sat down to do my manifestation list for my future husband, and it's been a while, and I've written those lists like a million times over the years, but I sat down to ask myself, what is the most supportive what is the most supportive relationship that I can imagine for myself, for who I am now, for where I want to go? What are the things that I want in my partner? And I wrote them all down, and I realized through a few different ways that I hadn't put like what they looked like on there. I had a few like vanity metrics on there, but it wasn't a look thing. And for me, as I've been also unraveling the idea of what does it mean to be enough and like how that kind of shapes your life, 75th Love, if you guys haven't checked that out, I realized that part of my expectation and part of my need to feel enough, especially as a curvier woman, is that you want to like fill that need that you didn't get as a kid of feeling like you are protected and that you're good enough and that you have somebody who can like pick you up and carry you. And that isn't necessarily something that like I have to have. And that was like mind blowing for me, because I also realized in that moment that for me at the same time, I want to be with somebody whose mind I can fall in love with. But until I could kind of really do the work there and step back and say like, what does this look like as far as the emotional support of the life that I want to build, the financial life that I want to build, all of those things, what expectations do I need to release? And maybe acknowledge that that's actually something that I need to heal versus something that really aligns with what I want for my future self. Number 4, get clear on your past and your future. So a lot of that for me and kind of laying out that manifestation and laying out that list for myself was looking at the kind of person that I thought would be the most supportive partner for the life that I'm looking to build for myself. And first, I really had to get clear on that though, and that for me was being able to be unapologetic about what I want and what I need and what I'm looking to do in the future. And from there, I could kind of get clear on the partner, but understanding what I wanted for myself, regardless of who I was going to be walking through life with, is huge, because you're always going to be with yourself. You're always going to be dating yourself. You should always be dating yourself. You always have to fall asleep with you. So if you're not able to say what you want and what you are actively pursuing outside of your partnership with somebody, it's going to be really hard for you to sustain that relationship, for you to be happy. So understand your past, understand what you need to clear, maybe what baggage you're bringing in, what habits you've been repeating, but also looking at your future and looking at what kind of life that you want and what kind of partner you think would support that, and whatever ways that you feel like you need to be supported. Number 5, know your non-negotiables. Now I have a few, and they're very specific for me and things that maybe I have a family history of, or things that I don't want to deal with, like smoking. Those kind of things are not big on my list of something I want in a partner, but you have to have the non-negotiables for yourself. If kids are a thing for you, then you're gonna want a partner that wants kids. If kids aren't a thing for you, adjust. Dogs, listen, we all know dog owners, I cannot imagine having a partner that doesn't love a dog. Like that's a non-negotiable. So understand your non-negotiables, because it helps you get more clear on what's really important for you and understanding why it's a non-negotiable for you. Because at the same time, that could be something that isn't as non-negotiable as you think. It might be something that you need to heal, and it might also be that they don't like dogs and we just don't want those people in our lives. And give yourself the grace to move forward. I think it can be really easy for any of us when we're trying to close out a chapter and move into a new one, that we aren't fully forgiving ourselves of our past mistakes, and we aren't fully forgiving ourselves of the things that we've done and the ways that maybe we haven't supported ourselves. So give yourself the grace to move forward. Give yourself the ability to say, you know what? That is not who I am anymore. And I've taken the time to do the work, and I've taken the time to see what I need. And now I'm choosing to move forward in a way that aligns with me and the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. So if you want me to talk more about really clearing the space on dating past and getting clear on your future and all that jazz, let me know in the comments below. I can either do a blog post or we can do another video on. There is a post on the blog today on how to be single when you don't want to be single. I'm definitely going to be creating some more content on how to date yourself. That's something that I've really been doing, is I've been supporting myself through this season and really wanting to dive into what does it mean to truly date myself? Because if I'm truly dating myself, I'm kind of getting to know myself in a way that somebody else who would be dating me will get to know me. And it's fascinating and terrifying all at the same time. So we will definitely have more content on that. But if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it a like, because it really supports my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I upload new videos every week. And if you want to stay up to date on all things WSS, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter in the description box below. I love you. It is a good day to have a good day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.